If you ask any parent about finding childcare, chances are they face challenges. Early educators, parents, families, and kids were at the Capitol yesterday for a day without childcare, and the purpose was really to call attention to the importance of it. And joining us this morning to talk more about it is Brittanya Brown, owner and director of Our Loving Village up in Stamford, Texas. That's about 40 miles north of Abilene. And Tim Kaminsky, owner and director of Gingerbread Kids Academy from the Houston area. Good morning to you both. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you. Good morning.
Yeah, so, you know, we talk about these areas, and while you're not Central Texas, I mean, this problem is not isolated to your areas, unfortunately. Tell us a little bit more about what you were doing at the Capitol. We can start with you, Brittanya.
Yeah, so the Day Without Childcare is a way to get parents and childcare workers and educators together. We want to have a united strategy as we call our Texas lawmakers and our public communities to support childcare at the true cost that it takes. Many of us childcare providers are on our last leg, and we need a very robust solution to our Texas childcare system underfunding problem.
Yeah, what would that look like? Do you have the numbers?
I would defer to refer to.
So actually at the beginning of the session, there was a $2.29 billion rider that was put into the Texas Workforce Commission budget. That rider was in Article 7. It got moved to our Article 11, which is basically a dumping ground. And so we've been working to try to get it put back into Article 7. That $2.29 billion, it would supplement the federal funding that we've been receiving for the last year and a half.
Wow, and tell us a little, I mean, $2.29 billion, that is a lot of money.
It is.
You mentioned also the federal funding. Is that federal funding expected to go away? Was that due to COVID? Is that
right?
Why?
So ARPA funds were allocated to all the states, and so the funds that came to Texas went through the Texas Workforce Commission and then out to us as providers. That funding is scheduled to end at the end of the month, and so going into the rest of this year and the next 2-year period, if there are any of us that need additional funding to stay open, it's not going to be available. There's just no other mechanism within the state to provide us that funding.
You said, Brittanya, you feel that you're on your last leg. Really paint a picture for us. What does that look like? What are some of the biggest struggles you're facing when you are working with the kiddos daily and parents?
Absolutely. We are suffering the true cost of an underfunded childcare system. Childcare providers like me, I run a family childcare home, and just because I'm in a home doesn't mean it's a lower level of work that it takes. And so day in and day out, I wake up very early and I serve my families in non-traditional hours. Some of the challenges that we're facing is that parents are working, both parents in the home are working, and they still can't afford to pay for childcare. And I can't afford to have any other staff come through the program because most of the mothers in my area also have children who need childcare. We need to make sure that our childcare system is funded and pays childcare providers thriving wages, because our workforce is not wanting to stay in this industry when they can go get better jobs. But there's a catch-22. Those parents and working families still need access to childcare. And if businesses like mine and Tim aren't open, then we don't know what they're going to do.
Oh my goodness, and you hit it right on the nail. That was what I was going to ask you,
Exactly.
Tim. What happens if, or, you know, when we think about childcare facilities closing, are we talking about a handful? Really paint the picture for us.
We're actually talking about probably 40%. There was a survey that was done back in February by the Texas Association for the Education of Young Children. 40% of the respondents said that they'll either have to close their doors or raise their rates significantly if this extra funding is not made available.
40%.
40%. Right now we have about 13,000 licensed centers in the state, so if you can imagine going down to almost 6,000, which is what happened during the pandemic. We originally had 18,000, over 18,000 in the state. May of 2020, we went down to 6,000. Now we're back up to around 13,000, but nobody's at capacity. And so everybody's at risk of potentially closing.
Yeah, for folks that are watching at home right now, you know, these problems seem very large. How can the community help? How can they step in and do their part?
The main thing is calling your representatives, calling your senators. Right now, there's a conferee up there on the Hill looking at who they're going to fund and who they're not going to fund. This is an economic development issue for the state. If we do not take care of this situation right now, you're going to see more and more people have to drop out of the workforce. And right now, Texas is already struggling with having a workforce coming back, most of them because they can't find childcare.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we appreciate your time this morning so much. Brittanya Brown, Tim Kaminsky, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we'll be right back on Good Day.